Right now, as you're watching this, there's a part of you that knows something needs to change. You feel it in your gut, that restlessness, that quiet desperation, that voice whispering that you're capable of so much more. But here's what nobody tells you about transformation. Before the butterfly, there's the cocoon. And inside that cocoon, the caterpillar doesn't just grow wings, it completely dissolves. It destroys itself at a cellular level. It becomes liquid. It becomes nothing, and that's exactly what must happen to you. Stop right now and ask yourself, what are you still holding on to that's keeping you stuck? Because I guarantee you, it's not what you think it is. You see, most people approach change like they're redecorating a room. They think they can just move some furniture around, hang a new picture, maybe paint a wall, and suddenly their entire life will transform. They want to add new habits while keeping their old identity. They want to make more money while maintaining their broke person's mindset. They want to level up while staying friends with people who are comfortable at the bottom. It doesn't work that way. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. The container will burst. The old structure cannot hold the new reality you're trying to create. And this is where most people fail. Not because they don't want change badly enough, not because they're not working hard enough, but because they're trying to build a mansion on a foundation meant for a shack. I learned this lesson the hard way. For years I was stuck and I couldn't figure out why. I was reading the books, watching the videos, saying the affirmations, writing the goals, doing all the things you're supposed to do, but nothing changed. And then one day, it hit me like a freight train. I was trying to become a new person while desperately clinging to my old life. I wanted the success, but I also wanted the comfort. I wanted the growth, but I also wanted to stay in my safe little bubble. I wanted to be extraordinary while living an ordinary life. The universe doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't work that way. Here's what they don't tell you in those motivational videos. Transformation is violent. It's messy. It's painful. It requires you to kill parts of yourself that you've grown comfortable with. Parts that feel like home. Parts that feel like you. That friend group that does nothing but complain and make excuses, you'll need to let them go. That comfortable job that pays the bills but slowly drains your soul, you'll need to let it go. Those habits that feel good in the moment but keep you mediocre in the long run, you'll need to let them go. That old story you keep telling yourself about why you can't, why it's too late, why you're not smart enough, not connected enough, not lucky enough, you'll need to let that go too. Everything must go. And I know what you're thinking, but I've invested so much time in this. I've built so much here. What if I'm throwing away something good? Let me tell you something that will save you years of struggle. The thing you're most afraid to let go of is usually the exact thing keeping you stuck. Your brain is wired for consistency. It's designed to keep you the same person you were yesterday, even if that person is miserable, even if that person is failing, even if that person is slowly dying inside. Why? Because sameness feels safe. Sameness is predictable. And to your primitive brain, predictable means survival. This is why people stay in toxic relationships, why they stay in dead-end jobs, why they stay in cities that suffocate their dreams. Not because they love these things, but because they're known, they're familiar, they're safe. Your brain would rather keep you comfortable and miserable than uncomfortable and growing. But here's the secret that changes everything. Your identity is not fixed. It's not carved in stone. It's not permanent. Your identity is simply a collection of thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors that you've repeated so many times that they feel like truth. But they're not truth. They're just patterns, and patterns can be broken. In 1519, Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés landed in Mexico with about 600 men. They were vastly outnumbered. The odds were impossible. Most of his men wanted to turn back, to return to the safety of their old lives. So Cortés did something radical. He burned the ships. He destroyed their only way back home. He eliminated the possibility of retreat. Now his men had only two choices: win or die, build a new life, or perish trying. And you know what happened? They won. Because when there's no plan B, plan A tends to work out. This is what you must do with your old life. You must burn the ships. Not metaphorically, actually. Delete that phone number. Quit that soul-crushing job. Move to that new city. Cut off those energy vampires who disguise themselves as friends. Stop going to places where the old version of you used to hang out. Stop engaging in behaviors that the old version of you would engage in. Make return impossible. Make retreat unbearable. But here's what nobody prepares you for. After you destroy the old life and before you build the new one, there's a period of absolute chaos, a void, a dark night of the soul. The caterpillar has dissolved, but the butterfly hasn't formed yet. This is the most dangerous time. This is when most people panic and try to rebuild their old life. The discomfort becomes too much. The uncertainty becomes unbearable. They reach for the familiar, even if the familiar was killing them slowly. They go back to the ex. They take back the old job. They reconnect with the negative friends. They resurrect the dead dreams they had buried for a reason. Don't do this. Whatever you do, don't do this. Because if you quit in the void, you experience all the pain of destruction without any of the glory of creation. You lose everything and gain nothing. The void is not a sign you made a mistake. The void is part of the process. It's supposed to feel this way. You're supposed to feel lost. You're supposed to feel like you don't know who you are anymore, because you don't. The old you is dead. The new you hasn't been born yet. Sit in that discomfort. Embrace that uncertainty. Trust the process even when you can't see the outcome. Here's what happens when you don't run back to your old life. Magic. Absolute magic. When you create a vacuum, the universe rushes to fill it. When you remove the toxic, the healthy can finally enter. When you let go of what's holding you back, space opens up for what will propel you forward. New opportunities appear out of nowhere. New people enter your life who are aligned with your new vision. New versions of yourself emerge that you didn't even know existed. But this only happens if you stay in the void long enough, if you resist the temptation to rebuild the old, if you trust that destruction is the necessary precursor to creation. So what does this actually look like? How do you actually destroy your old life? It starts with radical honesty. You need to look at your current life and identify everything that's out of alignment with the person you want to become. Everything. Your morning routine, your evening routine, the content you consume, the conversations you have, the places you go, the things you spend money on, the people you spend time with, the thoughts you think repeatedly. Make a list. Write it all down. Be brutally honest. Then ask yourself, if I were already the person I want to become, would they do this? Would they watch this? Would they hang out here? Would they tolerate this? Would they accept this? If the answer is no, it has to go. No negotiation, no exceptions, no, but this one's different. It all has to go. Your ego will fight this with everything it has. It will create every excuse imaginable. It will tell you you're being extreme, that you're overreacting, that you can have both, that you can change without really changing. It's lying to you. The ego's job is to keep you the same. It doesn't care if you're happy. It doesn't care if you're successful. It only cares that you're predictable. So when you feel that resistance, when you hear those voices telling you to slow down, to be reasonable, to not make any rash decisions, that's actually a sign you're on the right track. The greater the resistance, the more important the change. There comes a moment in every transformation where you cross a line, a point of no return, where you've destroyed so much of the old that going back is no longer an option. This is the most liberating moment of your life, because now you have to succeed. Now you have to build something new. Now you have to become who you're meant to be. The safety net is gone, the escape routes are closed, the old life is dead and buried, and standing in the ashes of everything you used to be, you finally have the space to build something extraordinary. You cannot build a new life without destroying the old one. Not because the universe is cruel, not because success requires suffering, but because your new life requires a new you. And that new you cannot coexist with the old you. They cannot occupy the same space. They cannot share the same mind. They cannot live in the same reality. One must die so the other can live. So the question is not whether you're ready to change. The question is, are you ready to let go? Are you ready to die to who you were so you can become who you're meant to be? Because the person you're destined to become is waiting on the other side of your willingness to destroy everything that's keeping you small. The caterpillar doesn't know it's going to become a butterfly. It just knows something inside is telling it to dissolve, to let go, to trust. You are that caterpillar right now, and your wings are waiting. But first, you must be willing to become nothing. If this message resonated with you, I need you to do something right now, not tomorrow, not after you think about it, right now. Write down one thing from your old life that you know needs to go. Just one thing, the thing that came to mind immediately when I said it. That's your first ship to burn. Do it today, not because I'm telling you to, but because the person you're becoming is counting on you. The future is waiting, but you can't take the old you with you. It's time to let go.